Now we're live. Okay. Well, that was weird. Don't know what happened there. Checking audio. Now we're live. Okay, we're good. We're way good. Okay, so clearly Facebook's not Facebook. What is this called? YouTube's a little behind today, which is okay because I'm a little behind today. Um, some of you probably noticed I was not on yesterday. That's because I had a sick day. I've actually been bedridden since Wednesday night, so I apologize. I'll try and make up for it. I'll also try and, oh, of course my pen's all timed out. I'll also try and going forward do like a little intro to the episode is what I'll do. Um, Episode. That's new. I guess I'll keep calling them episode. It's kind of like an episode, right? So going forward, I will try to, I'll just make myself a note to remember to do an intro to the stream, um, so that you'll know. It's in the description, but not everybody reads the description. So that everybody will know what we're working on. So today the top 5 is going to be dishes to cook because I'm somewhat of a cook. Um, Love cooking. I don't focus as much on presentation as modern cooks do, because modern cooking is, well, modern culinary art, we'll say that, is really based on um, how much you can get out of it monetarily. I'm not like that. I am more concerned about nutrition and quality over quantity. Um, well, sometimes quantity with food, quantity comes into play as well. But I don't care about what sells. I care about what's good. Um, and we're gonna do another from scratch character design, sorta. It's really a monster design. This one is not for the Battle Barge. This one is for a third-party Dungeon Crawl Classics adventure coming out. The link is in the description, and it's accompanying the new White Rock book that's about to come out. That's on BackerKit. They're both on BackerKit right now. I think it's BackerKit, not GameFound. Pretty sure it's BackerKit. So if you're a fan of Dungeon Crawl Classics, I do a lot of art for their stuff. Um, yeah, so obviously I like them as well. I actually didn't know much about Dungeon Crawl Classics until I started doing art for them, and big fan. I think Joseph Goodman he's got his head on straight. He really does. He hasn't lost any altruistic ground with his business being up and big. So we have a lot of the same influences as well. So much respect to Joseph Goodman, much respect to Goodman Games, and honestly, much respect to Brendan and Xcrawl as well, because Xcrawl is brilliant. It's brilliant. If you haven't looked into, if you're a tabletop gamer, thinking about it, look into Xcrawl. Super fun, super fun. Um, and every year they also do a charity. So much props to Brendan and Xcrawl there as well. Plus, I got to talk to him for the first time the other day. He's just a really down-to-earth guy. A lot in common. And I did the cover for Xcrawl the Mall, which my followers love. They love the idea of Xcrawl the Mall. So look that up also. Dragon Peak Publishing. I think that might actually be already ready for PDF. So definitely look into Xcrawl the Mall. But if you're unfamiliar with Dungeon Crawl Classics, period, definitely look into Dungeon Crawl Classics. One of the third-party expansions that I worked on was Dungeon Dwelling Creatures, where you get to play the bad guy. So if you like cryptids and you want to play the cryptids, look into that. And today, the character design or monster design that we're going to be working on is a Chaos Beast, which I've got all sorts of experience drawing Chaos Beast because of 40K. But I, I think I'm also going to do, it's got to be grayscale for the book, or black and white. It's got to be black and white for the book, but I don't really care. That's not a big deal. What I'm researching is I kind of want to do a background for it as well, especially since y'all didn't see me do any background last time. And, um, well, I think I like to also put backgrounds on stuff like this. If people want like a quarter page or half page, I kind of want to put a background so it's got something. Not a big background, just a quick background. Okay, where? All right, so it looks like it's up to me. We'll just do a typical dungeon background. Is what we'll do. Really? Ugh. Okay. And I will try to be more. I'm a little winded today, but I'll try and be more vocal about what I'm doing in Procreate as well. Before I get too started, part of the introduction is I also want to say anybody watching, whether now or later, feel free to comment on what you'd like to see from Procreate if there's something in specific that you'd like to learn. Because, I mean, it's fairly good chance that I know it. And if for some reason it's something I don't know, then I'll research it and let you know. If you have any considerations for the top five, send that as well. Um, I mean, I'm loaded with top fives. I've already got one for tomorrow. But if yours is better, I'll use yours tomorrow. That's just the way I am. Because honestly, most of this is for you. Some of this is for me. It's a nice way for me to, what's the word I was using the other day? Maintain some discipline. So some of these streams are for me, but most of the stream is for you, whether it's fellowship or um, learning something. So we got a chaos beast. I already have an idea, or I had an idea of the perspective I wanted. I kind of wanted to do an upward look. There's a cinematography term for it's pan up, but it's not pan. Anyway, I can't remember. But I'm thinking what I want to do is, and we'll just use a face, even though there's going to be multiple. I'm thinking like that. So I'm thinking we're going to be looking up at this nastiness that's evolving. Um, that's what I think. And you can feel free to comment on shit like that too. If you come up with a better idea, I'll probably use it. And thank you. On anything. Getting over sinus infections as well. If you have any tips for getting over sinus infections, I'll listen. Oh, this is about us. Yeah, I like that. So then the background, I believe this is underground, so underground dungeon. So the choices are going to be a cavern or stone wall. I do stone walls a lot, so I'm tempted to do a tavern. I'm not gonna, or cavern. I'm not gonna lie, tavern. I'm always tempted to do a tavern. So BG, maybe like that, and then some stalactites. But I kind of want to do like a John Carpenter's Thing homage as well. It's hard. I'll think about it. I'll come back to that. What I did is I just tapped the undo button. So you can tap your screen with a couple of fingers for undo, but that's also the undo, and the redo button is just below it. That's what I'm doing there. I don't use the screen tap like ever. I don't know why. At least not on purpose. Sometimes I do it by accident. Okay, so He had a lot of examples for Chaos Beast, but I think it was just so that I get the idea. He said go wild, so I'm probably going to go wild. The Thing was going to be a big influence here, but like I said, I'm also influenced by Warhammer 40K. So I was thinking maybe the main mouth be kind of, well, I was thinking radish originally. So let's see how rat looks. But then like extended. So the rat mouth turning into something else could be cool. Let's extend it some more. Or actually, let's widen it too. It's gonna look like those aliens from Sesame Street. What are those things called? Yub Yubs? I don't remember what they're called. Those aliens from Sesame Street. Yep, 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 yep. Telephone. Which I'm surprisingly okay with. In fact, we might even go a little bit more. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so you just saw me erasing one way. You can use your eraser, as I've told you before. I'll tell you again. I'll try and keep it locked in on each episode. You can also select an area, use 3 fingers, and cut. Zing! Now they're gone. Okay. I think maybe the what do you call that part on the rat? I think maybe that's a little too big. I might trim that off also. And you can do that with select as well. You just grab what you want, like so. And then hit move, uniform, shrink. I don't always do that, but since we're learning Procreate, you're learning, right? Okay. I think the nose is a good size though. Okay. I like drawing crooked teeth. Rats don't go to the dentist, you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff we're used to seeing does not go to the dentist, if you know what I mean. So I draw crooked teeth a lot. Actually, let's just do a little Illustrator corner cutting. Yeah, that looks cool. What I mean by that, I pretty much go over this I'll go over this every episode probably, is if you're illustrating, you cut corners somewhere. It's just part of your style. I like not individualizing teeth unless it's certain circumstances. Something like a Tyranid I might, but for this guy, I like that. Um, it's not really how teeth work though. I'll probably... A little bit better. There's more. But the further back they go, the... Oh, forgot my angle, didn't I? Let's fix that. Further back they go, the smaller they'll look. And some of that we're going to fix when we do line art, not right now. Okay. So I like the rat face, but I also don't think I want to put any... I think I want it to extend kind of nastily. And maybe put like an eye here. Yeah, that looks cool. We'll have that jutting out on its own. Playing with the psychology of the uncanny valley. I do have to say that my inclination is to put at least a tentacle, but that seems so cliche nowadays. And I'm not going to be puffing on my pipe today. Oof. That was a mistake the other day. Love it, but not like this. All right, well, while I'm thinking, what is today? 5 dishes to cook. Okay, top 5 dishes to cook. I'm pretty sure fried or chicken fried steak is in there. I love cooking chicken fried steak. It's pretty easy. Frying is typically messy unless you get really, really experienced at it. I'm going to put it at 1, but it may not be 1. We'll see. Chicken fried steak. Oh, and you know what we should do? We should do this, because not all meal prep is cooking. Baking is baking. Cooking is cooking. Stewing is stewing. You get the idea. All right. Chicken fried steak. I like making gumbo. Gumbo might go in there. I like making soups, period. Shepherd's pie will go in there. Hell, that might be number 1. See, I'm trying not to judge it just by the act, but also the taste and, just everything. Everything in total. That's always a weird angle, I think. So, yeah, kind of like that. Always a weird angle. I'll check on that in a minute before I do line art. And I know the forearm looks funky. I want it to look funky. That's the point. We'll do something else with that hump. No, it's not a tentacle. I know I said tentacles are cliche. It's a tail. I wanted to do a tail because that looks cool. And then what we'll do down here is we'll make the teeth something completely different and crazy. Like anglerfish teeth, something like that. And this is where I'm going to individualize each tooth. Now you'll get my point. I had the thought of putting like a human head coming out of the mouth. I'll think on that too. Oh, you know what I like to do? Um, couldn't remember the word because my brain isn't working. I almost want to make that hump into another eye. We could also do some tusks. That'd be kind of cool. Or horns. I like the idea of horns even better. Do the same horn, but off a little bit. Yeah. Man, I should have done a full piece of this. Could have used it for a chaos spawn for 40k. It's probably a little early for this, but as a reminder, I don't want to forget. Oh, I just had an idea for the background too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That angle's off though, isn't it? Yeah, angle's off. Perspective's hard. Maybe like there. A little more. No, I think that was right. Yep, that's right. Okay, back to work. Let's see. Pie. I like cooking pie. What's my favorite pie to cook? Oh, key lime, maybe? Or spiced apple? That's a toughie. That's a toughie. Key lime's probably more fun, and I probably like it a little bit more as well. It's not exactly easy to find key limes because I'm not in Florida, but any lime will do, technically. And I use Greek yogurt for my key lime pie. All right. It's looking good. It's looking nasty. I dig it. Oh, you know, it'd be cool. Let's see if I can. I might have to get something for reference. Should I do it cliche? The crab claws you see on most illustrations are not realistic, like at all. Um, but I might just do it anyway. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's not what actual crab claws look like, but when you see crab claws in a cartoon, it doesn't really. And I'm open to ideas. If you get an idea, throw it down there. God, you know what I should do? Yeah, I think I've got to. He mentioned a wing, and I kind of want to do a wing also, but they're, again, pretty cliche. Even the one wing is pretty cliche, so I kind of don't want to do the one wing thing. But, you know, it'd be funny. This would be funny. And DCC is pretty jocular anyway, so I think it's funny. Okay, we got multiple eyes. I tend to do a lot of eyes, so three's probably enough so that I don't become redundant myself. I need to make this other horn slash tusk a little bigger, don't I? So we'll just cheat. It's big enough. Can y'all see it okay? It's not, I guess y'all can't really see it as well as I can. And I guess that leg's a whole lot bigger than I made the foot. I might need to make that bigger too. And at more of an angle. Okay. see it. Okay. Man, almost done with the top 5 already. Only less than 40 minutes in. Clearly I'm focused more on food today. I've actually got chicken stewing right now for some shredded chicken. To go with some barbecue sauce, homemade barbecue sauce. That's fun to make. That might go on there. We will see. Barbecue sauce is good to make. It smells so good when you're making it too. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, that background line is really getting on my nerves. I've got to do something about that. You know what we could do? We could do something just like really funky here. We could do like a... Yeah, I like this already. Can you tell where I'm going to go with this? Could make this a Steve Odekirk reference. that line supposed to be? I don't remember what that line was at all. Also, that background line needs to do this, right? Let's see. Oh, I guess I was wrong. I guess it's good. Let's see, barbecue sauce, is that number 5? It's not really a dish. I don't guess that's fair. Barbecue broiled chicken is really good. Need to remember to get the whiskers in there. If I ain't got whiskers, it ain't a rat. Okay, tail. I think that might be enough for limbs and parts and shiz. I do like that line there. That's a cool line. We're going to keep that. Ooh, that looked even better. I'll do that. Yeah. Oh, I put that nose on the tail, didn't I? I meant to do it on that hump. Let me fix that. Oh, if I can fix that. How can I fix this? You gotta be careful when you're doing this shit. Okay, I think that did it. Oh, I'm not on the... There we go. So course correction. If you're not on the right layer when you do a selection, you can go and select the right layer. See? Okay. Shrink it a little bit. Not too much damage. Oh, actually, that's still not right. That's not the hump either. That's the hump. Eventually, I'll get it right. There we go. Okay. Honestly, gumbo might go in the top 5. I like making gumbo. I also like making tzatziki, though. Tzatziki might go in there. Okay, and I was thinking we should do some like bone. I think we'll do some like ribs popping out, maybe, right here. I know I tend to do ribs in my gelatinous stuff, but still, it does look cool. And you know what? It's redundant, but I'll go ahead. For everybody who's wanting one, because I'm sure everyone's going to expect one, at least one. So now I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. You got it. Got what you wanted. Yeah, every Chaos Beast gets a tentacle, right? Or more. Do something really funky and gross right here. Put a spine where a spine just should not be. I like that. I like that. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so we need to decide what kind of eye. I think we'll do like a dragon eye. Which that means I should do some scales too, huh? Do dragons have tear ducts? This one does. Okay, and I don't do too much definition in my sketches. Like I said, every other time, since I am my own inker, I can get a lot of the definition and detail later. I'm going to do 2 different inking phases or line art phases, since it's not technically ink. And the second one is what I call my detail phase. Now sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I just knock all the details out in the second one. Might actually be the case this time. But I usually have a second line art phase before colors. So when I'm doing stuff like this, it's just reminders to myself, like with that slime there. It's really just a reminder to myself. All right, got some scales. Get some hairs. That's gross. Difficult to get the right perspective on hairs sometimes, since it's. I kind of want to. Just do this. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. We can even put some actual hair on the thing, like a ratty hair. Let's do that here. Oh yeah, that should have come down from the rat. We can do that. I guess I forgot about the rat hair. So we'll just get rid of all that. And then have it coming down from the rat. side, we can get rid of the hair. And yeah, I thought about putting, um, oh, that doesn't fit at all, does it? We need to fix that. I thought about putting a rat ear on the thing, but it just wouldn't be that obvious, especially in black and white. That's why I did not do that. I think we do human fingernails, or rather extended human fingernails. Yeah, that was a good choice. Not much left to do except detail. Pretty good. Hour for character design. Pretty good, especially if you're only doing a quarter page. I'll be honest, I usually give a little bit more than a quarter page. Like, this is obviously more than a quarter page. But because of that, I mean, it won't get as much detail as a full page or half page. You won't get as um, much time, but obviously. But we'll also have to remember to make sure the lines are good for shrinking down. Okay, it's time to decide on that tail. I kind of want to put a rat tail. I'll be honest. A little segmented tail. I think I'm gonna. And then rats also have a little pattern. So we gotta get the pattern going. Too much of an angle on the inside. Kind of like a wormy diamond. They're a bit scaly. But since it's illustration, we don't want to do too much, so just capture a little here and there. Just try to remember where your light source is going to be when you're doing shit like this. So when you're doing little details like scales, like the scales down there, like these, just try to remember where you want your light source to be coming from. My default again is top left. That's not top left to you. There we go. Top left is my default. So, um, like right around there, it's going to stop hitting it. So we want to put it on this side, starting there. See what I mean? And then down here. But just enough to remind myself. Okay, I dig it. And I'll probably do, what I'll do is I'll focus on the background separately because I'll show you some tricks you can do with the background. Because you can do all your colors, and when you merge your colors, you can subtract that from the layer with the background. Or you can just have the background in the back of your colors, underneath your colors as well. There's choices you got there. What are we, right at the hour? I tell you what, let's do, I didn't do it last time, but let's do a intermission and then come back fresh. That'll give me time to blow my nose and some other stuff. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, see, that didn't take too long. I might switch over to line art at this point. Actually, let me do a little more on these eyes first. Oh yeah, and the tusks slash horns, I kind of wanted to do I want them to be like a standard? Damn. I kind of wanted to put ridges on them. Forgot about that. See, tusks don't have ridges, but horns do. That's the thing. I guess I'll keep them as tusks. Part of me wanted to put like a worm mouth on this, but then I thought it'd be way too chaos spawny. Okay. So I think it's a good time to switch over. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the opacity down a lot, like by 2/3. We're going to add another layer. I use calligraphy and script is what I use. Sometimes I choke to death, you know, stuff like that. So clearly I colored on my background, or sketched rather on my background. Let's get that. We'll select, we'll cut, we'll paste. Let's turn that back up or it's going to mess everything up. We'll merge down. Now I'll put it back. Okay. And the background we can honestly turn off for right now. Just a blueprint at this point. And then you can start where you like. I tend to start with the focal point because that's me. And I usually make the focal point a bit darker as well, which is one reason why. Where did his whiskers go? Did I put his whiskers on the background? That's nice. Well done, Dax. Don't be like me. That's why these are just perspective videos and not streams, not videos. Perspective streams and not telling you how. Oh, and I had a couple of y'all come up and say that you put this on at work and stuff and listen in the background. And that's fine. I appreciate it. I don't expect comments. I don't expect views. I'm not doing this for the money, obviously. Not my thing. I'll probably never tell you to hit sub and hit like. Other than that. That was horrible. Honestly, their nose is a little scaly as well. I might put that in here too. Might as well, right? Yes, I know a lot about rats. I know a lot about rats. Rats are one of the coolest pets, man. If you ever get a chance to have a pet rat. It's also sad, though, because they die so quick. Very short lifespans, but they're such great pets. They're so smart. I remember when I was in high school, I used to take Ginger to school. She'd just sit in my shoulder, or sit on my shoulder, or sit in my pocket. Jeannie, Ginger, and Marianne, those were my rats in high school. I'm doing those busted bendy lines on purpose. So don't give me no lip. Oh, I went into the side there. Whoops. Whoopee. Oh, that reminds me. Who saw the new Street Fighter 2 movie trailer? Because that was pretty dope. Came out yesterday. I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to that movie. I liked the first Street Fighter film for what it was. For what it was. I don't like that. I'll do this. I need this. Yeah, and then this. Kind of excited to see Guile. We'll see how his acting is, but he looks so Guile. Not even really a wrestling fan anymore, but really looking forward to see him as Guile. You get to see some more Cammy, like a good deal of Cammy. Not a good deal. You get to see more. You get to see more Cammy in the new trailer. It's gonna be tough to top Kylie Minogue's Cammy, I'll be honest, but whatever. And you can see even after dialing that down to, 2/3 of the opacity, it's still pretty prominent. That's why you do what you do. And rat hair is shaggy. There's a reason there's terms like ratty. So don't forget that. Oops. Ah, that's my stand, is what that is. See? That's the stand. Let me see if I hold it. That helps. Probably need to figure something a little bit better out. We'll see what I can do with that later. I think it's this side, yeah. This side is the one that's really off. So we'll change this side up, not the other one. That's much better. And then honestly, I might do the drool as, I think I'm going to do the drool on a separate layer. Do some layer tricks. What do we got? 44 minutes, 43 minutes. So we'll see if we can get through. I need to remember to do it though. So I need to remind myself to do the drool layer. Or I'll just do it right quick. And we can have some Procreate funds. We can have some Procreate fun with the drool layer is what we can do. And then you can name layers too. I know I don't do it a lot. At least a lot that you see. I do it on some things quite a bit, but we'll just do split. And then we'll turn it off. Okay. Done. Tongue time. I want to show the tip because it's funny. And if you didn't catch my reference, is that right? I guess that's right. If you didn't catch my reference when I said Steve Odekirk, this is a reference to Steve Odekirk. Steve Odekirk wrote and starred in Kung Pao, which I love. If you watch Kung Pao, you'll see why this is a Kung Pao reference. That's all I'm going to say, because you need to watch it, because it's awesome. Lee Bad. It's not good. I'm not going to tell you it's a good film. It's not a good film, but you should watch it. You should totally watch it. Because it is a good film. It's just not a good film. I love just a seriously bad movie that knows that it's a bad movie. Absolutely love it. Like, you know, the 1981 Flash Gordon. Absolutely love that movie. It's so bad. It's so bad that it's good. I think the funniest thing about the 81 Flash Gordon, I think that was 81, maybe 80. I think the funniest thing about the Flash Gordon film is that the two leads, the lead female and lead actor, lead actress, lead actor, are the worst. They have the worst acting in the film. It's so bad. They may have done it on purpose, so I'm not trashing them, not trying to. It may have been on purpose, And if so, mega props. But their acting is by far the worst in the film. They're surrounded by like Brian Blessed, oh my God, and Max von Sydow and Timothy Dalton and oh, what's his name? Brian Brown, I think. And the movie is hokey as shit, and it's a De Laurentiis film too. So it's I can't think of any De Laurentiis films I don't love, if I'm honest. But yeah, I love Flash Gordon. And yes, I loved it before Ted. In all honesty, I haven't even seen Ted. Everybody tells me that Ted loves Flash Gordon. The teddy bear, that is. Should we put some spit on him too? Maybe. Might be cool to have some spit coming from this thing too. Be humorous redundantly. What would the inside of its mouth look like? Probably have, yeah. Does he have his own tongue? I'm not going to give it a tongue. I'm not going to do that. But what we'll do is give him a little spit, a little spittle. Okay. Oh yeah, I still owe you number 5. Oh, there's a lot of dishes I like to make. Applesauce is fun, especially if you're into jarring. It's really simple. Bread starters are fun. Bread in general is pretty fun. I've got this nice little bread recipe that I like a lot. Old school. I like old school recipes because if you haven't noticed, modern food is kind of shit. Um, hell, hardtack. Hardtack is nice. I put hardtack on there. Hardtack is basically crackers, but a little different. And but modern food with all of its shelf life improvement is super bad for you. Stuff that makes things sell better is really bad for you, and high yield produce really bad for you. Well, okay, I'm not going to say high yield produce. That's not necessarily that's a misnomer. High yield produce is not bad for you. It's just not as good for you. Um, mass production in any capacity is not great for you. So high yield produce loses a lot of the nutrients, which means you lose a lot of the nutrients. So big business is bad for everything, including food. Hell, I mean, the meat that you buy is loaded with water. I bet you didn't know that. Because that makes it way more. They can charge you more for it because they load it with water. A lot of the pesticides are, or I guess herbicides, a lot of the weed killers kill good plants. Um, and because of that, they said a lot of plants that are good are weeds that aren't. Like white clover, it's not a weed. But big business tries to convince you that it is because it's better for money. They figured out, oh, this kills white clover. Well, we'll just convince people that this crappy grass is what they should have, and we'll sell that too. So we'll make more on the crappy grass, and we'll make more on the weed killer. All because some company came up with that Shitty idea back in the shitty day. Which all that extends beyond food too. I mean, it's the same with diamonds. Company in the 1930s decided, hey, you know what? Why don't we buy up all the diamond mines and convince people diamonds are worth a lot of money, which they're not. Diamonds can be made. So they started that's where the advertisement for diamonds are a girl's best friend came in. You should spend all of your paycheck on this thing that we have cornered the market on. Anyway, I digress. That has nothing to do with cooking. Hardtack's pretty good. That might make my top 5. Everybody should learn to cook hardtack. Which is just 3 ingredients. I mean, a lot of bread is just 3 ingredients, or just needs 3 ingredients. And no, I'm not going to do my own cooking show. I'm not like an expert cook or anything. I mean, I probably am, but I'm not the best person to cook on film. If I cook on film, I can't sing while I cook. That's what that boils down to. Could I do cooking shows? I could probably do cooking shows. They would mostly be like Southern cooking, big meals, not presentation and going over the health sciences and shit like that. But the problem is when I cook, I sing 100% of the time. So if I'm doing cooking shows on YouTube, I can't sing my songs. That's why that'll never happen. Never gonna do it. Never gonna do it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. And yes, that's on a few of my playlists. I am a 90s R&B junkie, let me tell you. I'm not sure I'm going to finish the line art in 32 minutes. Because if you haven't noticed, I'm going ahead, like I said I probably would. I have skipped the second line art phase. I'm doing it while I do the first one. So I'm doing the detail phase while I do my line art phase. So this particular piece might get 2 videos. I was going to try and finish it up today for John and Ed. But I might get 2 videos. I might do another one while I wait on this one to work on it with you tomorrow. See, darkening my lines like this and doing the little shit, that's usually done in the phase 2 line art phase for me. Which, as far as I can tell, is just a me thing. You're probably not going to see any other artists on here or TikTok, wherever you watch artists. You're probably not going to see them do 2 line art phases. It's just me. I guess not a lot of them do a line art phase either. It's not necessarily a common thing. It's, you know, I trained myself on comic books, so a lot of it comes from that. But since I'm my own inker, line artist, I can do what I want with it. So the first time is just, you know, putting it down so that I can get rid of my sketch. I'm just like that. I'm like that when I cook as well. I clean up after myself as I cook. So I kind of want to get rid of my sketch as soon as I can for some reason. I have no psychological reason for that whatsoever. It's not perfectionism. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that's from. But like I said, I just clean up after myself real quick. I guess it's because I've been alone so much. The vast majority of my many years of adulthood have been alone. Let's see, 13 years of single parenting, 7 years of marriage. There were a couple of years there of We'll just say somebody else. Couple years of roommates. But other than that, just me. So it probably just stems from that. That's all I got. That's all I got. Okay, so if you watch my streams, you've probably noticed when I do sharp stuff, I don't do sharp stuff. That's probably psychological. That one probably is. So I'm gonna bet that the reason I don't do sharp stuff sharp is some of it is just, realism because they get blunted. The sharper things end up getting blunted because they get used, right? And I rarely do newer. It seems like I'm always doing, aged stuff. So most of the time when I'm doing sharp stuff, it's like aged, it's used, right? So they'll be a little blunt. But in all the years of wargaming as well, because I've got a lot of years in wargaming, not just Warhammer 40K, but lots of other stuff. And in those years of wargaming, they have changed. Like wargaming started out that the miniatures were really pointy sometimes, and if you grew up then wargaming then, then you probably reached over a table, whether in the middle of a game or whether working on your army or whatever, you probably reached over a table and poked yourself good with a spiky bit. So that's probably the psychological disposition that I have there, if I'm honest, is probably from wargaming. But I'd like to think that there's a lot of it that is just, common sense on aged spikes too. That's another one of those don't be like me things. If you want to do sharp shit, do sharp shit. Go for it. But that's why. I mean, you probably saw me purposefully round that tip. That would be why. Do I want to put toenails on these toes? That's the question. I kind of do. It's not like he trims them, right? They just pop out and then grow from that point, right? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I'm preparing for doing the toenails now. So let's do this one at kind of an angle. And then these are at more of an angle. I have to redo that one a little bit. I did not prepare enough. your dang bed. My handle's getting sore. Don't know why I made me a foghorn leghorn. Okay, so just remember your angles when you're doing your suckers. Gotta remember the angle. It's gonna be about there. Once you get underneath, it doesn't matter too much. But when we do our color phase, if I color the lines, well, color phase is going to be different from black and white. But if I do a color version of this, when I color the lines, I would probably color those spots. Why do I have hair there? Oh, no, I'll just go with it. We haven't done any veins yet either, so we'll do some veins here. I want that to be like an orc eye, so make it look a little darker. In turn, it'll make it look a little more evil. Nope. That was just my busted hand. I don't know why I have hair there, but I'll go with it. I'll trust myself. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't put the whiskers on the rat nose. I will forget. Let me do that. So since it's a rat, my temptation is to start at the nose, or schnoz, muzzle, that's what it's called. My temptation is to start at the muzzle small and then get bigger since it's a rat. It gives it kind of a dirty look. But I might not do that. Typically you do the opposite, or you would want to do the opposite. I don't know. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see. So we'll start small, go big. Yeah, see, because I like that. Yeah, that was the right choice. sure why, but when I first looked at, or when I looked at that a second ago, it made me think it had braces. Would have been funny. Maybe for X-Crawl, maybe not for this. A brace monster. A braces golem. I don't even know how hypothetically that might work. Not that there's not just a bunch of weird shit in X-Crawl. Again, if you haven't looked into X-Crawl, you need to. It's difficult to make hair look good and also give it the darker lines, so I know they're not as dark. I'm struggling with it myself. And don't worry, the goal on this mouth is to look completely different than the top. Chaos, right? That is part of the plan. I'm actually surprised that the dire palm has not shown himself to y'all on these streams yet. I guess is usually fairly front and center. You'll see him one day. What caused me to say that is he just went and laid down under the desk. So I'm not gonna disturb him just to get him up here, but you'll see him soon enough. I'm sure. I forgot that eye. you hear me talking about you? You'll come see everybody. Come here. Come up here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, there he is. There's the dire palm. My mini wolf. It's a good kid. Don't get into anything up here. Maybe a little more scraggly hairs. I thought I got rid of that dot. So, dragon eyes tend to be dark as well, kind of like I said for the orc eye over there. So have fun with the dark lines on the dragon eyes. Same with princesses, right? And sometimes it's also hard to remember that I'm doing black and white, and I'll get caught up in shit. It's not the case this time, just letting you know. If I do something that you don't understand, it might be because I'm remembering it's going to be black and white. I don't like that at all. In fact, I don't like that at all. Let's try that again. That's much better. And by the way, I want it to be catty-cornered from that eye. That's on purpose. Because otherwise it's going to make the eye look like a mouth. Oh, yep. You fix that. That didn't fix it. Let me try again. Bear with me, I hit the cord on the camera. There we go. Sorry about that. The stand fell again on my case. I thought it was going to be a cool thing when I got the case, but clearly it's not great. How we looking? We got 5 minutes. Yeah, we're not gonna finish this. But that's cool. We're gonna get close. And then shading on black and whites doesn't take long at all. So we'll do this again tomorrow. And oh, I still owe you number 5. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious me. I went over some good ones. Tzatziki. Oh, that's not a dish though. It's not a dish. Gumbo, crawfish gumbo maybe. That's a good one. I would say Euro meat, Euros to go with the tzatziki, but Euros are so hard. There's so much required for Euros. Mostly the Euro meat. So Euro meat, if you don't know, is lamb and bacon processed together. Processing meat's kind of a chore. And then it's put on a rotisserie. That's not very fun. So I can't say Euros are just a blast to make. Blast to eat. I do love eating them. They're one of my favorite dishes to eat. But we're talking about cooking. Oh, I like cooking funnel cakes. And beer batter fish. That might make it in there. Pad's got a lot more juice today than usual too. That's shocking. I'm honestly a little sad that we're going to be so close to finishing the line art, even with me doing the detail phase. Because we're so close. Is that too much? That's too much. It might be funnel cakes. I do like making funnel cakes. Corn dogs are fun. I like beer batter fish and chips because I do my beer batter fish and my chips at the same, well, not the same time, but like right in a row. And when I do chips, which is basically French fries, when I do my chips, they're with dill, like I'll do them with dill and vinegar. So I do like a dill and vinegar chips with my beer batter fish every time for some reason. I don't know what started that. Chilaquiles is fun. If you've never done that. Not really healthy at all, but fun and tasty. Ooh, I know what it's going to be. Yeah, there it is. I know what it's going to be. I know what the number 5 is going to be. Right on time, too. Yeah, it's funny that power save just came up because I was just about to say, you know what, we could just go long and finish it up. But Pad said, nah. Bitch say nah. But we'll see how much we'll see how close it lets us get. Ain't no problem going a little bit over. I was a little bit under the other day anyway, right? So I kind of owe you. Oh yeah, plus I was sick. I called in sick yesterday. So there's that. It might let us finish. All we really got is the tail after this. Oh yeah, I guess that other hand, but whatever. Oh my god. All that's slipping around is my hand, my busted hand. Yeah, I did it right. I was worried I got that wrong, but we got it. We good. We good. We should be getting the 5% warning any second now. Once we get that, we're pretty much done. If you watched the last stream, I talked about thin versus, I think it was the last one, thin versus bulbous fingers. This is kind of what I was talking about. Um, Depending on the picture, what the subject is, I will sometimes do thin fingers and sometimes do bulbous. If I'm doing like a princess, I'm sure she'll have thin. If I'm doing a critter like this, probably bulbous. So really all we got is the rat tail. I hit the wire again, I apologize. I'm really under two minds about whether to just do that without you or not. So I'll probably just go ahead and do the rat tail so that next time we meet, we'll start on shading and that background. But there you go. That's everything except the rat tail. I can make it a little more obvious so you can tell where it goes. Yeah, that's all we missed. It's not bad, guys. Not bad. Almost completed 2 to 3, 2.5 phases in our 2 hours. I do owe you that fifth. Let me put that up there right quick. Means I got to decide what it is, right? Um, we'll just say beer battered fish. Can't say fish and chips because that's cheating. So beer battered fish. And there you have it. You got your top 5 meals that I like to cook. Again, that's opinionated. The top 5 are just about always going to be opinionated. Even if I were to say that, this is the best of the best, it's still probably going to be opinionated. Where's my cord? And none of that is to say that they're the easiest meals to cook at all. Some of them are pretty damn hard. But they're the ones that I like to eat and I like to cook the most. Um, Tomorrow we'll finish up this Chaos Beast. I don't know that it'll take 2 hours even. So we may embellish a little bit, give them more than they paid for. That's what we'll do. Take a little time on the background maybe. Um, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish that tail up tonight so we don't have to work on it. You get the idea? So tomorrow we'll just work on shading, black and white shading no less, in Procreate, and a minimalist background. But and forgive the voice, I'm still getting well. So regardless, it was a good stream. For those who made it, thanks. Um, for those who didn't, maybe I'll see you next time.